Mic check. And check. All right. All right. Before I start, as always, of course, I'm going to give all honor and glory to and infinite praise and worship to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostles and our elders, of great millstone, who teach all the sound doctrine. Strong shalom to the hopeful elect and the rest of the large multitude of men, women, and children, that the Lord will have mercy on these last days. Brother Hadash coming back with another lesson through the spirit of power, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Lord will it's edifying. All right. This song that was placed on my spirit, Lord willing, is comforting to the elect, men and women, the rest of the large multitude, men, women, and children of the Lord have mercy. All right, before I start, as you can see by the title, it says the strongest hedge. All right. The times we're living in, we're gonna need something that's greater than the things that we're going through, the things that we're about to go through, I should say. And the things that we're about to go through, the scriptures say, uh, matter of fact, let me just get there real quick. We can start off with that. I'm just rolling the spirit. Daniel 12:1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that same time, thy people should be delivered, every one that should be found written in the book. So at that time, it says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So the times we're coming in, and what we're approaching is going to be something that you never heard of, something that the world has never seen. Okay, worse than slavery, worse than, you know, Jim Crow and all that things that come with it, worse than the Renaissance, worse than everything, man. Okay, real quick, let's get this definition. Edge. Let's see what's coming. Let's get the AV 1611 version. Edge. See what comes up. It says such a thicket planted around a field to fence it, or in rows to separate the parts of the garden. To enclose with the hedge, to fence with a thicket of shrubs, small trees, to separate by a hedge. It says to surround for defense, to fortify, right? To surround for defense, to enclose for preventing escape. So in hedging, it says enclosing with a hedge, obstructing, confining. So to surround for defense, so the strongest hedge is getting ready to the world is getting ready to see those individuals who have that strongest hedge around them, and the strongest hedge is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, if you didn't know, right? The strongest hedge is Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Okay, and that's what I wanted to go into, because we got to understand the times that we're living in, the times we're coming in. It's like it's inevitable. These things are going to happen whether you wanted to or not. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get that in Second Ezra, chapter 7:16. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Okay, it says, why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Right? The thing to come is the kingdom of heaven. The thing to come is salvation and deliverance for the elect, and ultimately, in the end, the whole nation of Israel. Okay, why don't you consider these things? Why do you dwell on them now? See, the things that's going to happen until the men of the Lord, the ones that's going to have to be martyrs, they're not going to feel those depths. They're not going to feel those transitions. They're not going to feel that pain. They're not going to have no pain to them. Okay, so we have nothing to worry about, man. If we are those men, right? Why has thou, 2 Corinthians 7:16, why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come rather than that which is present? You see, so you got to understand. Um, you got to understand that the Lord has he's the hedge around the ones that that's going to be protected in that time. Because if you jump down to 20, it says, "For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law of the Most High that is set before them." And them laws and the ways of the Most High is set up so that the Lord could properly protect us. You see, we're separate from the nations. So when we uphold to the ways of the nations, therefore we're outside of the protection. Okay, we're under a protection plan. Okay, a witness protection plan or whatever. So the Lord has protected us from the outside world if we fall in line with His ways. That's why it says, "For there be many that perish in this life because they despise the law," meaning they despise order. They despise what YAHWASHI has set up. Okay, which deems as righteous. Okay, because they don't know those ways. So when Israel follow those ways, therefore we become ignorant to the Lord, man. Therefore we're called heathen. We're called Gentiles. We're called whatever. Okay. Now, real quick, let's get 2 Ezra 9:9. It says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways." You see? So when you abuse the ways of the Lord, therefore you don't have the protection of the Lord. Okay, that's why it's going to be only a remnant this time that's going to have that true protection. Because when you go to real quick in the whole day, you go to Exodus 14:14, it says, "The Lord shall fight for you and ye shall hold your peace." The ones that don't have that hedge of protection, we went into that word hedge, okay, that to surround for defense. The ones that don't have that defense around them is going to be ass out. They're going to get killed, slaughtered, brutally. And I'm not talking about like a martyr for Yahweh. I'm talking about with torture and pain, man. A slow death, a quick death with a slow death. You know, fire burns you up, but at the same time, the Lord is going to have your spirit stay in your body to the point that you're going to feel every essence of that heat, of that element. You're going to feel every moment and every intent that the Lord had for that judgment to be placed on you. Okay, so that hedge is a defense. So when you go back to 2 Ezra 9:9, it says, "Then shall they be in pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment." See, you're going to dwell in torments, man. You're going to dwell in something that's everlasting, but it's not everlasting. It's going to feel like it's never ending. You see, because the timing of the Lord is different from our timing, man. Because for such in their lives they have received benefits and have not known me. You see, so you prosper in the ways of society, therefore you pushed away from the one thing that separated you from the mindset of society, which is Yahweh Shem Shai, which is our protection, our hedge that we went into. What our hedge is a defense. It fences. If a hedge fences the things that's inside of it, it protects the grapes, it protects the vineyard. We're the vineyard, pursuing Isaiah 5. We're the vineyard, and the Lord is our hedge, and He protects us, man. I'm gonna show you that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get that, but let me finish this. It says, "And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, freedom, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. The same must know it after death by pain." So we don't want to feel that pain. We see Jake in their mind thinking, well, all Israel gonna be saved anyway. So no, bro, why do you think the Lord has to have, He has something in place called the judgment? Nigga, have you ever drowned before? Don't you know they say drowning, somebody being killed by fire or being drowned or being killed by fire is the two worst deaths in the entire world, man. Burning alive or drowning, that is terrible, man. And so it's showing you that the Lord is not no one to play with, because the first death, which is the flood, he flooded the world and they drowned, man. The second death is by fire, the second worst way to die, not in any particular order. That fire is going to be everlasting. The same as know it after death by pain. You see, it's going to be a painful thing, man. The Lord is not playing around. That's why you gotta make sure that hedge is around you when that truth comes. You gotta make sure that wall of protection is around you. Okay, you gotta make sure that you wouldn't have in the vineyard that you're in. You gotta make sure that grapes tainted grapes and thorns and thistles wasn't a part of your growth, man. Because the scriptures say, a just man fall 7 times, but he get back up. You got to make sure that you constantly are purging. The scriptures say, I die daily. You got to constantly purge yourself, right? Because so that we won't feel the physical pain in the later. We spiritually afflict ourselves so we won't feel the physical in the later. See, Jake, right now, they're not doing it spiritually. Therefore, they're not spiritually cleansing themselves. They're going to have to feel that fire, man. We feeling it now by the afflictions and infirmities of the body, the things we do now, so we won't have to feel it later. All right. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. It's Sirach 5. So I get to Isaiah 5, dealing with the vineyard. Let's go to Sirach 5 and 7, just because I brought that second Ezra out. It says, make no tearing. When you tear, you put off. You hold off. Make no tearing. So don't put off to turn to the Lord. It says, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall, right? Because when you think the Lord, that's what links up with Matthew 24, when the scriptures say, I'm not gonna get it, but you can get it on your own. Matthew 24, later down in the chapter, you delay the Lord coming by not thinking He's gonna come. That you do things that delay His coming, in a sense, okay? Because you don't really, and ultimately, in the essence, you don't really believe. You see, which means that you're not gonna have any type of protection when it matters, man. Because right now you think you're protected because you prevail in society, or you know this person to get you out of this jam, and this person to get you out of this bind. It says, make no turn to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. The day of vengeance is when the Lord come with that nuclear fire, and the chariots bust open them skies in its totality. So suddenly, right, in a quick instance, and your safety, meaning your security meaning your safety, the Lord is going to come upon you, man, with great wrath, right? Because when you go to Isaiah 55, it says, real quick, let me grab this, Isaiah 55 and 6, it says, seek ye YAHWAH while he may be found, call ye upon him while he is near. So right now, the doors of mercy is closing. Brothers' videos is getting taken down left and right. Not even just videos, the whole channel, man. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. YouTube strike your page, and while you going through that week of waiting for your page to be reinstated, they'll strike another video to strike your page again. You see, and brothers' pages is getting struck from videos we did fucking 3 years ago, man. So it's showing you that this man he have a short time, so he has to make haste. So in the process of him making haste, what you think? Your time pauses? No, man. Everything is speeding up. It was just Monday. Now it's about to be Sunday. It's about to be the next Monday. I blinked, it's a whole nother week. You know, the times we're living in, the Lord is speeding up the times. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick in Second Ezra 2 and 13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you that they may be shortened. So this is also the time of speeding up, not just for not just because of the prophecies have to happen, so the time is speeding up, but because the elect are actually praying for the Most High to shorten the days, man. Like the brother Amar said at the camp, man. You know, he said, "What? This is not living." You know, because he was going into how the brothers down in Dallas, Jim's brothers down in Dallas was going into it. You know, this is not truly living, man. You see moles constantly. I can't go nowhere or watch anything or see anything in our daily life without seeing one mole. You see witches and warlocks. You know, you can't even you're arguing back and forth with your spouse. You can't even properly enjoy your children. This ain't living, man. You know, you don't have your your multiple wives. You don't have because you can't support them. You can't give them you can't financially support them. This ain't fucking living, man. If you're not tired of this place, you're gonna get killed with the beast, man. You're gonna get killed with the system. Because you're not visualizing the kingdom. You're not visualizing what truly living is. You think just because Esau give you 10 G's that you're living, man. 20 G's, 30. You're not living, man. No amount of money in this world can actually allow an Israelite man or woman and child to actually truly live, man. This place must go. It has to go. It must go. And the only way we can actually truly fulfill somewhat of what we have to lean in our comfort. And our comfort is the only thing we have comfort in is the scriptures, man, which builds that protection around us to protect us from that fire that's coming. Jay think this is that go. If you think this is a game, go turn your oven on right now. Okay, if you got a gas stove, not your oven, turn your eye on. Let the fire rise up and stick your hand in the fire and let it sit there for 5 minutes. See, Jay can't. They think this is a game to the point they think the day of the vengeance of the Lord, the day of judgment, is going to be the same. It says, "Go, 2:13. Go and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. So the kingdom is already prepared for us. Why are we trying to reinvent the wheel? I'm gonna do the ministry this way, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go out, nigga. It's already set in stone. It's already written, man. The scriptures tell you in John 4 that what we enter to other men's labors, meaning that the things that we're doing now, and the scriptures tell you in Ecclesiastes, he required which is past. So the things we're doing now has already been laid out, and we're just entering to it again in a different vessel, man. So we just got to continue to play it out. Okay? Let's continue to play it out, Akim. Okay? Let me get this. Sirach 2:10. It says, look at the generations of old. So we read Romans 15:4. Things are written aforetime or written for our learning. We go into this information and we have comfort because the scriptures is a comforter. Okay, this is the comfort, but it also comes with the understanding of it too. The spirit, the Rawchaa. Look at the generations of old and see that ever any trust in the Most High, YAHAWASHI, and was confounded? Never, man. It says, or did any abide in his spirit and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right, the name of the Lord is a strong tower, and those who run into it is safe. Go into the scriptures, you cannot find one that was confounded, man. You think it's going the Lord, Malachi 3:6, the Lord changed not, therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed. You think the Lord going to change in this time? I got brought out on Daniel 12:1, the worst time to ever exist on the whole face of the earth. How do I obtain this hedge of protection or this defense? I'm gonna get it again for people that's tuning in. Hedge means what? One of the second definitions, to surround for defense. This hedge we must have around us to survive the things that's coming upon us. The elect are going to be in a trance. They're not even going to, if they have to be a martyr, they're not going to feel death. So when you go into Second Maccabees dealing with the 7 children, they didn't feel that pain, man. That's why they was talking shit. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they went into the furnace. They didn't feel that fire, man. Matter of fact, it say it was mist. Because they're going to be in a trance. I did a lesson on that. They're going to be in a trance. They're going to be in a different state of mind. They're going to be there, but they're not going to be there, man. They're going to have superpower. Their body is going to be able to combat the elements that's coming against them, man. Because we are the judges of the earth. The Lord already gave us this power, man. We're just in a state that we can't access it now, man. It's like you growing up as a child and your family is rich and you can't inherit the actual riches of the family business until you reach the age of 18. It's yours, but you can't access it until you get to 18 because it has certain responsibilities that come with it. It has certain things that you have to do, certain documents that you must uphold to, and laws and different things you must uphold to before you can actually show that you can actually obtain the value of this essence or the volume of these assets, man. And that's what the Lord is doing for us. We have to go through certain things. We have to grow up before we can actually inherit the family business and obtain to the riches and the glory of the family business. I just did a lesson on that. So what happened with Job? I'm not supposed to get this real quick. Job 1. What's Satan say? Job 1:10. It says, has not thou made an hedge about him? Yeah, because Job the elect has a protection around him, man. That the devil, that he can't stand it. So he was coming to the Most High like, look, man, has not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? That defense. He says, thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he have, and he will curse to thee to thy face. See, that's the mindset of Esau. He's coming to the Lord and accusing us before the Lord and saying, look, you gotta hedge around your special apple of your eye. That's how they come to the Lord. You gotta hedge around the apple of your eye. You gotta hedge around Yasha. You even named him after you, a prince of the power, a king's kid, a king's child, man. So of course you got a protection around him. But hey, if you put this in them in this state, I bet Father they curse you to your face. That's how you coming to the Lord. And you niggas out there is falling for it, man. You know? And nigga just means void of light, man. You know? So that's how Satan move. And Esau's the physical counterpart of Satan. So he's coming to the Lord like, look, you got a hedge around him, his house, you blessed his hands. But I guarantee if you take away his substance, he will curse you. But the Lord made it about the elect because Job was a representation of the elect and their mindset. When you read Romans 11, all Israel is embodied in the grace of the Lord because of the elect. He said, because of the elect sake, I have mercy upon them all. So because stuff like individuals like Job, you know, we all have hope. But in this time, the Lord is dealing with individuals just like Job. That no matter how low they get, they will not curse the Lord. They will not blaspheme the Lord. They will not fall because it's impossible. Scripture say, Matthew, it say, if it were possible, they should deceive the very elect, but it's not possible. Therefore, the elect is going to obtain that hedge of protection. Real quick, let me get this precept in Isaiah 41. Isaiah 41 and 10. It says, fear thou not, for I am with thee. You see? Be not dismayed, for I am thy power. You see? When you go to going back to second, I quoted second Maccabees, go back to second Maccabees 7 and 16. It says, thou art corruptible, thou hast power over man, talking about Antiochus, he's an Edomite, thou hast power over man, right? Now doest what thou wilt, right? Because this is thy kingdom, this is thy blessing right now. Thou art corruptible, but think not for 1 second that our nation is forsaken of YAHWASHI. So the Lord said he's with us. He said, I will strengthen thee. Yeah, I will help thee. Yeah, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. You see, the Lord said, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. The right hand of the Lord is YAHWASHI. Because before I go even further, let me get this Isaiah 5 real quick. Okay? This is Isaiah 5. The vineyard, I'm gonna start at 1. I wasn't trying to go into this. I'm not gonna break it down. I'll break it down on different lessons. I'm gonna just breeze through it to get to the point. Isaiah 5 and 1. Now will I sing to my well-beloved a song of my beloved touching his vineyard. My well-beloved have a vineyard and a very fruitful hill. He fenced it and gathered out the stones thereof and planted it with the choicest vine and built a tower in the midst of it, the tree of life. He also made a wine press therein, and he looked that it should bring forth grapes, and it brought forth wild grapes, right? And he fenced it. The Lord always has a protection around his people because we're the vineyard, we're the extension of him, right? We're because Yahawashi say in John 15, he said he is the vine, and we must abide in him. Okay, it says, and now, O inhabitants of Jerusalem and men of Judah, judge, I pray you, betwixt me and my vineyard. What could have been done more to my vineyard that I have not done in it? Wherefore, when I looked that it should bring forth grapes, brought forth wild grapes. And now go to, I will tell you what I will do to my vineyard. I will take away the hairs thereof, and it shall be eaten up. So the Lord showing you that he's the protection. He took away his protection. He hid his face from us. That's his protection. So therefore, we can't come directly to the Father. We got to go through Yahawashi, the mediator. When you go into Revelations, it tell you that the angels, even we also got to go through the angels. The angels take our prayer and they take it before Yahawashi. Yahawashi is the mediator, and he take it before the Lord. The angels are the what are they called in court? The jury. Angels are the jury. Okay. Yahawah is our lawyer. Okay, he makes the calls. Okay, and then the judge execute the judgment. Okay, if you have ears to hear. Esau's court system is kind of weird, but that's how it's set up because it's rank and it's order. Okay, it says I would. He said now. It said and now go to. I will tell you what I would do to my vineyard, Israel. I will take away the hedge thereof, meaning the protection. So the strongest protection is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So when he take himself away from you, which he's never really truly away from you, that's why the scripture said there is no enchantment against Jacob. But when he take away the acknowledgement, so when you read Deuteronomy 4, it tells you that this is a wise and understanding people because they knew that the nations could look at us and see the aura around us, the glory around us, because we walk in the ways of the Lord. But when the Lord took that way from us, and we just look at like average Joe, therefore anything can happen to us. You know, when if you got a king, and a prince, king and a so-called queen in this world, they have a daughter, and that daughter is considered a princess. Okay, if you watch the movie Aladdin, okay, or if you watch that movie Princess Diaries on Disney Channel, she was an average Joe walker. She was going to the school. She was walking amongst her peers, looking normal. You go to Aladdin, Princess Jasmine. She didn't want to be a princess no more. Talking about the newest one, like you could watch that one. She went into the She went into the people. She went outside the castle, and she mingled among the people. So therefore, they didn't even see her as a princess because of her attire. So that was her pushing away her representation. So she was a representation of her father, which was the king. So we're a representation of our father, which is the king, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So when we don't have that attire on, when we're stripped from that attire, we just look like the average Joe. So it's easy to kill this nigga, man. It's easy to spit in his food and to beat him down and treat him like he's just another heathen, man. Why, when you watch the movie Aladdin, well, that's what she did. She took the apple because she's used to an apple. You could just take an apple in her kingdom and just give it to a nigga. But the nigga that was selling the apples, because that's the way he got to make a living, he took her hand, was about to cut that bitch off. Because he like, hold on, chick. Because she was looked upon as an average woman that was stealing. That was just a poor woman. So that's how they look at us now, because we don't have the strongest head protecting us right now. But as far as the eye can see. You see, because the Lord already quoted, he said, don't think that the Lord has forsaken us. So we got to keep that in mind. It says, I will take away the hedge thereof, and it shall be eaten up. And break down the wall thereof, and it shall be trodden down. Right? We've been trodden down. 70 AD, slavery, dealing with from 70 AD till now, really from the beginning of time, man. We've been trodden down slowly but surely. Okay, yeah, we had 80 years total in peace with King David and King Solomon. But the fact of the matter is that was everything happens for a reason. It was a representation of things to come in earth as it is in heaven. So certain things have to take place and make it make sense for the things to come. That's why I brought out second Ezra earlier. It says, and I will lay it waste, and it shall not be pruned nor digged. There shall come up briars and thorns, and I will also command the clouds that they rain no rain upon it. So Israel will not prosper. So the Lord took away himself, okay, as far as the eye can see, so that these things can come upon us, thorns and thistles, meaning we're cursed. A rose in this realm is a cursed bush because it has thorns and thistles. All right, thorns and thistles is a sign of a curse. It says, I just read the next verse for edification. For the vineyard of the Lord of the armies, Yahweh YAHWAH, is the house of Israel. So you can understand, the vineyard is Israel, like I said. And the men of Judah is his pleasant plant, right? He's planting us in the vineyard, okay? The elect, the choicest vine. It says he looked for judgment, but behold oppression, for righteousness, but behold a cry. So we, in this time, how do we get that hedge back around us when we have nothing around us but thorns and thistles, man? He said it because we went about whoring. We played the harlot. We have to come back into Yahweh Basham Yahushua for that hedge to be protected around us again. Okay? I mean, it's simple, man. So I don't know if I got it. I think I pulled it out. I quoted that Isaiah 41. Yeah, I brought it out. I brought it out. Let me get this quick precept in Psalms 91 real quick. Got a couple more. We're gonna close out. Psalms 91 and 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. A shadow is protection. If it's sunny, if it's hot as fuck outside, excuse my Swahili. If it's hot as shit outside, again, excuse my my foreign language. If it's hot outside, what we gonna do? We're gonna go to what? A tree, shade, a shadow, a shade is protection. That's why the scriptures tell you in 2 Ezra 2 and 36 to flee the shadow of this world. When you uphold to the shadow of this world, you uphold to the protection of this system. Protection of this way. That's why you don't have faith. You say, well, I can't have, I got to feed my family. Therefore, I'm going to have to get the in my arm so that I can go to work. Because why? You trust in the shadow, the protection of this system. The scripture tell you in Isaiah 31, woe to them that trust in Egypt, that go down to Egypt for help. Trust in his horses, his power, you know. So the Lord said you got to dwell in the shadow of the Almighty, his protection, the chariots, that shadow that covered us in Egypt. Right? We can go to 2 Corinthians chapter 10. That spiritual rock that followed them, that was Yahawashi, that chariot, that fathership. It says in Psalm 91 and 2, I will say to Yahawah, Yahawashi, he is my refuge and my fortress, my power, and in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler, the traps that they set, and from the noisome pestilence, that hedge. Only will you escape the things that's coming if you got this true hedge around you. Why? He shall cover you. He said he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and buckler. That thing that holds you up. A buckler holds your pants up, holds your garment. You know, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, those nuclear warheads, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eye shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. Right? Let's go into that word habitation real quick. It says, it's like it, let me get it. Habitation. It says, I'm getting it from the AD 1611. It says habit. It has habit. Let's see if we got habitation. Yeah, habitation. Okay, it says act of inhabiting, state of dwelling, place of abode. You see? Even the Most High, thy habitation. So the Most High is the place where we abode, a settled dwelling. You see? A mansion. You see that? A house or other place in which man or any animal dwells. A house. The Lord is our house. Okay, we dwell in the house of the Lord. All right. So look, let's get a couple more real quick. Isaiah 33 and 6. I gotta get that. It says, in wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time. So the wisdom and knowledge that we obtain now, seek him early while he may be found, is going to actually keep us stable, because we're going to know exactly what's going on. We're going to know how to move. We're going to know what's going on. If our wives do something against the scriptures, we know exactly what it was coming. If our children get killed or taken, or we get taken, we know exactly why, because we knew it was coming. Because why? Knowledge and wisdom and knowledge should be the stability. It's going to keep us stable in that time, and strength of salvation. The fear, which came after all of that. When you go to Sirach 19, the fear of the Lord is the knowledge of wisdom and the knowledge of his omnipotency, the knowledge of his essence. When you have the knowledge of the Lord's essence, that means you're dwelling in his character. The fear of the Most High is his treasure. Treasure in any essence, in any way of life, treasure is looked at as valuable, man. The Lord is comparing us to fine gold. That's treasure. So the fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's a precious thing. Okay? That builds that protection. Let's go into this word stability. Let's go to the 80, 16, 11. I didn't look this up on here before. Neither one of these words really. Stability. Let's see what comes up. Steadiness, firmness, strength to stand without being moved or overthrown. So the knowledge and wisdom we obtain right now builds that hedge around us, which is a wall of protection, which is what? The strength to withstand, the strength to stand without being moved or overthrown. If I got a solid wall at war, and I'm at war, and I got a solid wall of protection, and they shooting bombs, and they shooting things, and it's hitting the wall, and the wall is not budging, the wall is not cracking. Therefore, that person on the outside of that wall cannot enter into the city. They cannot enter into the gate to besiege us, to overtake us, to spoil us, to take up our spoils. Strength to stand without being moved or overthrown as the stability of a throne, the stability of a constitution of a government. You see? Man, let's get 2 Thessalonians real quick. 2 Thessalonians 3:3. It says, but the Lord is faithful, who shall establish you and keep you from evil. So the Lord is doing this. He's going to establish us, Lord willing, and keep us from evil, man. Evil is a compound word, meaning bad times. Okay? Looking for this quick precept. 2 Samuel. 2 Samuel, yeah, 2 Samuel 22:3. It says the power, Al-Hayam, Yahawashi Yahushua, the power of my rock, the power of my rock in him. Man, matter of fact, let me start at 2. Let's start at 1. 2 Samuel 22:1. And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies and out of the hand of Saul. And he said, Yahweh is my rock. Yahweh BAHASHAM is my Yahawashi is my rock. I gotta get it since I quoted it. 2 Corinthians 11 and not 11, 2 Corinthians 10. Slacking, 1 Corinthians 10. It says, moreover, brethren, I will not that ye shall be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea, right, coming from Egypt, and were all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat, and did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Hamashiach. So this rock that we uphold to, which is solid, which is a foundation, is Hamashiach. We're built on his foundation. So that's the rock that we're on. So if I go back to what was I at? 2 Samuel, that's the rock. That's the rock. 2 Samuel 22 and 2. And he said, Yahweh Yahushua is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer. So that same foundation followed us. So that when we finally got to the destination, that rock planted and we built on top of it, man. It says 3, the power of my rock. So the father of that rock, which is the father, Yahweh of the rock, Yahawashi, in him will I trust. He is my shield and the horn of my salvation, my high tower and my refuge, my savior. Thou savest me from violence. I will call on Yahweh Yahushua, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from my enemy, because his name is a strong tower, and we run up to it and it's safe. That's what we're dealing with. Why? Like the title says, the strongest hedge. This is just a lesson to give brothers comfort in the times that we're about to come, because it's real close, man. Real close. Isaiah 59:19. It says, so shall they fear the name of the Lord. There it is again, the name of the Lord. Yahweh is the name of the Father. He is, or he be, or he exists. And Yahawashi comes in the name of his Father, Yahawashi, meaning he is salvation, or he shall save his people. So shall they fear the name of the Lord, Yahawashi from the west, where we at now in Babylon the Great, and in the Western Hemisphere, and his glory from the rising of the sun, meaning from also from the east. When the enemy, Esau, Edom, the nation shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord, YAHWASHI, shall lift up a standard against him. Matter of fact, let's go into this word standard. It says, an ensign of war. Let's see. A staff with a flag or colors. The truth. Let's see what it is. Let's go to the definition. All right, it says standard. It says the troops repaired to their standard, the royal standard of Great Britain. No. They give you a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not what we want. All right, let's go. Let's do it like this. Let's go to the Google definition. Standard. The Lord gonna lift up a standard against these nations, man. It says a level of quality or attainment. They're not really giving me. I looked it up before, but they're not. Matter of fact, let's go to the blue letter real quick. My phone about to die. This is the blue letter dealing with Isaiah 59 and 19. It says, that word standard is, yeah, you can plug it up right there. Water. Strong's 5127. Escape, okay, to flee. So the Lord is going to lift up a standard against the enemies to the point that the elect is going to be able to escape the dangers and the sad perils that's coming upon them, to take flight, to depart, disappear, to put to flight, right? To take flight. So the Lord is going to lift up a situation where we're going to He's going to allow us to take flight. You might have brothers in their home, they ain't got nowhere to go. Esau busting the door with his guns, and he might have you be invisible. Come in and say, what? The room is clear, and you sitting right there on the couch with your family, man. That's how the Lord is rolling, man. We have to continue to trust in YAHWASHI. No matter what you're going through right now. We falling, but we get back up. We fall, we get back up. The elect is never going to be moved anyways. The Lord said you have to examine yourself whether you be in the faith. You know, man. Let's get this real quick. Let's get to more Isaiah. What was that? Isaiah 65 and 12. It says, therefore, Isaiah 65 and 11. But ye are they that forsake the Lord, that forgot my holy mountain, that government, that standard, man. You know, in another sense of things like that. That standard meaning like his essence in a sense. You forgot the character of the Lord, man. But ye are they forsake the Lord, YAHWASHI, that forsake my holy mountain, the government, the order, that prepare a table for that troop, and you allow that the enemy to take hold of it, and that furnish the drink offering unto that number. So therefore the Lord didn't make a mistake when he said 2/3, 66.6% would be numbered to the sword, which is 666, the number of the beast. All right. Therefore will I number you to the sword, with the sword is Esau, Edom, and ye shall all bow down to the slaughter, and you're going to all bow down to the slaughter, bow down and get the same judgment as your oppressor, because when I called, he did not answer. Right. I read earlier, seek the Lord while he may be found. So when he called, this is a calling out. Me right now, the Lord placed the spirit upon me to do this video epistle. This is a love letter to the house of Israel. He did not answer when I spake, he did not hear, but their evil before my eyes, and their truth that when I delighted not. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, power God of Israel, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You see? So the Lord is going to allow his men to eat in that day, man. Okay? Let's get one more. Why? Because he's that strong tower. He's the head. He's the strongest hedge that we have. And in these scriptures, is preparing us. It's helping us. The scriptures is nothing but the material to build that hedge. Ultimately, the Lord is that hedge, which this material is Him. So the material that you build anything with makes up that body, makes up who drives it, makes up, you know what I'm saying? Everything that's involved, that material is a representation of where it came from, or the thing that is about to be in terms of being made. And we're making that hedge. We're building that wall, that spiritual temple, so that nothing can come against us. Nothing will be able to besiege us ever again, man. Let's close with Hebrews 13:6. It says, so that we may boldly say, the Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man should do unto me. You see? So that we may boldly say, so we say these things boldly. The Lord is my helper, and I will not fear what man shall do unto me. So why? Because the Lord is my helper. He's my hedge. He's my protection. He's the one that's going to allow me to fucking bulldoze through these nations, man. You know, he's going to turn us from fishers into hunters, man. This is who we're dealing with. We're dealing with the true power. We're dealing with the one who gave Esau his power. We're dealing with the one who's the father of spirits, who can destroy you and have you burning a slow death with your spirit still in your body. Like we're dealing with a terrible power, a demon-like power who's not to be played with. Message to myself, message to everybody that's tuning in and listening. All right, the Lord is coming with vengeance and fire, flames of fire, and that whirlwind is going to do it. Okay, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. And again, we give all honor and glory again to YAHWASHI, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, HAQADASH. Double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone, who will teach you on the sound doctrine, strong shalom to the hopeful elect and the rest of the large multitude, men, women, children. That the Lord will have mercy in these last days, the ones that He actually is allowing that hedge of protection to be around as we enter into the peak, as we're entering into the peak of the hour of temptation and to the peak of the times that has never been like on the face of the earth that we have to go through. Lord willing, is edifying. Shalom.